Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Pod Peak. In this video, we're going to look at the new free Waves plugin, Silk Vocal. And yeah, let's check it out. All right, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been like forever since I've done a video. A lot going on in my life, busy running my business, and been working on some other video projects. But I got this email from Waves this morning showing me that there's a new plugin that they're offering for free. So I figured, why don't I just go ahead and download this, and we'll do like a quick overview and demo. Now, I will say this, normally I'm not like a big Waves fan. I've got a lot of Waves plugins, but just their like licensing, the way that they kind of force you to do updates, I'm not a big fan of Waves these days, just because I feel like their whole setup is pretty contrived, but I do like their plugins. And it's like, hey, the plugin's free. So I just went ahead and downloaded it. And yeah, I just figured we'd do a quick demo. So let's get into it. So here we are over at the Waves website. I'm going to leave the link for this plugin in the description. So basically, yeah, it looks like Waves is coming up with their own kind of smart EQ dynamic plugin for vocals. There's a handful of these plugins by other companies out there, and they're all pretty cool plugins. Like, it's like if you're looking to like mix vocals quickly and get them to sound good, these plugins can be helpful. I wouldn't recommend using this as a plugin to replace kind of knowing the fundamentals of how to EQ and compress vocals and all that kind of stuff. But if you know what you're doing, or even if you don't know what you're doing, you can pop this plugin on a vocal in a song, or probably even a voiceover, and it's going to make it sound better. So kind of scrolling down, here's what the plugin really is for. So it's a smart EQ and dynamics processor for vocals. It's used to remove boominess, harshness, and sibilance. It includes a license for Silk Vocal Live, which is a real-time version, which obviously that's beyond the scope of this tutorial. It has male and female voice modes. Includes a high-pass filter, gate, mix, band solo, band bypass, delta, speed, and precision controls. You can kind of blend your raw vocals with the mixed vocals in no time, and on and on. So let's go ahead and move into Reaper, and I'm going to open the plugin and just kind of give you an overview of all the features on the plugin interface. All right, so here we are in a Reaper session, and I just wanted to do a quick overview of the plugin features before we do a demo. So the first thing I want to point out is if you hover your mouse over any knob, you can see that it gives a description of what the knob or the button or fader does. So keep that in mind as we go through the plugin. So at the top, obviously, got a ton of presets, which is always really nice, especially just to get started. Got a bunch of artists and producers: Billy Bush, Damian Lewis, Joe Ciccarelli, Tony Maserati, Jeff Ellis. Very cool. So first of all, it has two different modes, so you can go between male and female. Next, we have a low-end function, which you can turn on and off with this button. And as you can see, as I hover over the knob, this is to reduce boominess and or muddiness between 100 and 300 hertz. Next, let's move over to the mid knob, which looks like might be kind of the most important knob, as it's the biggest one. This is to tame mid-range harshness, and you can also adjust kind of the frequency area down here, I think, where you want to affect the mid-range by moving these. And if you click in the middle and move around, you can move the whole range. So that's cool. This button up here is to listen to the reduced signal. Over on the high frequency section, you've got a filter, a notch, or you've got a shelf, or what appears to be some sort of high pass. And again, this is to suppress high-end resonance and or sibilance. Over here, you've got a dynamics fader. You've got an output. And under the high frequencies, you've also got options for 12K, 16K, and 20K. And then down here, you've got this section, which is a high-pass filter section. The speed knob adjusts the attack and release of the process. Precision adjusts the width of the adaptive bell curve, or the Q. You've got a makeup button. You've got a gate. and you have a mix knob to blend the dry signal with the wet signal. And then, of course, up in the upper right menu, you can conveniently change the size of the plugin. And we'll just go ahead and leave it as 200 for now. All right, so let's go ahead and do a demo. All right, so here we are in a Reaper session. This is a song that I've been recording. I actually have some raw drums in here that I recently recorded. Today, I'm actually going to be recording bass to this. So I've got some rough vocals, a stereo kind of stem of like the lead vocal and some harmony vocals on the chorus. I've got an acoustic guitar, some rough keys. And so we're going to be processing these vocals just to see how this plugin sounds. So here's just kind of a quick listen of the raw song, and I'll play the vocal with the music and without, just so you can kind of hear it before we apply the plugin. I was a lonely baby, just had to find myself. Last time I saw you in the moment. And we'll just take a listen to the vocal. We were open-minded as our worlds collided. That time I saw you coming down. I know it's hard to define us when everything reminds us. There were times I was feeling so crazy. All right, so, listen, I recorded that vocal in this room that I'm in right now. I don't have great treatment in this room. I've got some panels on the walls, but this room has very high ceilings. It has 10-foot high ceilings, and I currently don't have any sort of sound treatment on the ceiling. So you can kind of hear just kind of boxy, low-end, kind of roomy sound that doesn't really sound that great. So I would be curious to see if this plugin can kind of tame some of that. So let's go ahead and activate the plugin. I'm going to solo the vocal, and obviously we're on male. And let's just kind of take a listen, first of all, without the plugin, and then I will activate it. I was a lonely baby, just had to find myself. Last time I saw you in the moment. We were open-minded as our worlds collided. Yeah, so I mean, right away, without me even doing anything, you can already hear that plugin kind of removing some of that stuff. So I'm going to just go ahead and disable the mids and the highs, and let's just play around with the low end here. I was a lonely baby, just had to find myself. Okay, so obviously the more you turn this knob, last time I saw you in the moment, the more of that low end it removes. We were open-minded as our worlds collided. That time I saw you coming down. Yeah, that sounds pretty good there for the low end. So let's turn on these mids and see what we can do here. I was a lonely baby, just had to find myself. Last time I saw you in the moment. We were open-minded as our worlds collided. That time I saw you coming down. I know it's hard to define us when everything reminds us. That sounds okay. Let's turn on the highs and play around with that. And we'll leave it on this notch setting with the Q to start out with. I was a lonely baby, just had to find myself. Last time I saw you in the moment. We were open-minded as our worlds collided.
That time I saw you coming down.
That sounds pretty good. Let's play around with the dynamics.
I know it's hard to define us.
Very aggressive.
When everything reminds us. There were times I was feeling so crazy. I wasn't lonely, baby. Just had to find myself. Last time I saw you in the moment.
Okay, let's listen to what we've done first without.
I wasn't lonely,
So that's
baby.
without.
Just had to find myself.
And this is with.
Last time I saw you in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cleaned up that vocal. I mean, pretty nice. So let's check out this high pass filter section and see what it does.
I wasn't lonely, baby. Just had to find myself. Last time I saw you in the moment. We were open-minded as our worlds collided. That time I saw you coming down. I know it's hard to define us when everything reminds us. There were times I was feeling so crazy.
All right, so let's listen to the vocal again without the plugin.
I wasn't lonely, baby. Just had to find myself.
And with.
Last time I saw you in the moment.
And let's bring in the music.
We were open-minded as our worlds collided. That time I saw you coming down. I know it's hard to define us when everything reminds us. There were times I was feeling so crazy.
All right, so obviously this is a cool plugin. It totally, in my opinion at least, makes my vocal sound a lot better than just the raw. Obviously, the gain staging wasn't really great, but you know, that raw vocal sounded pretty boxy. It had like some really low mid, kind of just not good sounding stuff. And just this plugin, being able to reduce those frequencies and then pull out some of the harshness and then control the vocal with dynamics, sounds pretty darn good. So yeah, I'd say for a free plugin, this is pretty awesome. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the videos I put out. And by the way, I am going to try and put out some more videos here in the near future. I might not be totally focused on Reaper. I've got some other things I've been working on that I think you might find interesting. So yeah, look out for those. And again, I will leave the link to this plugin in the description below. All right, take care of yourselves. We'll catch you next time.